Jake Paul's next fight has just been reported. As Mike Coppinger reported, Jake Paul is set to face Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. at cruiserweight this summer, sources tell The Ring magazine. Mexico Chavez is the son of the Hall of Famer Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. 39 defeated MMA fighter Uriah Hall on Jake Paul's undercard last summer, his first bout in 3 years. It won't be on Netflix. With there being rumors that this is going to be a fight for a world title, this was a post by the WBA president last year, Gilberto Mendoza, saying he's not against a Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight for a championship. So Jake Paul supposedly getting a shot at some sort of WBA title. A couple months ago, he was confronted on fighting Chavez Jr., where he seemingly turned it down. He said he wanted a tougher fight than that.
The WBA convention is here. WBA President Gilberto Mendoza has said a couple times that he wouldn't be against you having a title fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. said that you guys are negotiating the fight. What are your thoughts upon Mendoza's comments and Julio Cesar Chavez as an opponent?
I want someone tougher, and I want a real belt. Not just like something that gets put up for entertainment value. So it's great and all, but like honestly, he's easy work, and I want someone tougher to shut people up.
Now it seems like these two could actually be meeting in the ring. A vast difference in experience here, at least in professional fights. Jake Paul with only 12 pro fights, Chavez Jr. with about 60, but Jake Paul being 11-1 and Chavez Jr. 54-6, having fought the likes of Daniel Jacobs. Canelo Alvarez obviously came up short there, but is an experienced guy. FFTV said, is this a joke, or is the WBA really going to give a YouTuber a shot at a belt? Jake Paul is reportedly closing to finalize a deal against former WBC middleweight champion Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. for a WBA sanctioned title. While the specific WBA belt, interim, gold, or regular is unclear and likely in the bridgerweight or cruiserweight divisions, this potential matchup is drawing criticism due to Paul's limited experience against genuine professional boxers and Chavez Jr.'s recent form and struggles outside the ring. Despite this, WBA President Gilberto Mendoza appears willing to sanction the bout, citing the financial interest Paul generates. As Chavez Jr. recently did fight on Jake Paul's undercard. He fought against Uriah Hall, won a pretty lackluster unanimous decision there, but did call out Jake Paul after getting a win.
Who do you want to fight?
Oh man, I don't care, you know. Jake Paul?
You want Jake Paul next?
Yes, why not?
If he wins tonight?
Yes, I want.
You think you could beat him?
I'm better fighter than these opponents, so that's for sure.
Well, thank you so much.
So Jr.'s been wanting that Jake Paul fight, as Jake Paul previously said he would knock out Chavez Jr. and probably go the distance with Canelo.
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
I would knock him out.
Canelo Alvarez.
I would win by a split decision, but only because the judges would be in his favor.
What the hell?
Paulie Malignaggi previously did make it clear who he thinks would win between Julio Cesar Chavez and Jake Paul, picking Jake to win the fight devastatingly.
There's no way we can let that idiot Chavez Jr. fight Jake Paul, because Jake will beat him, okay? The gorilla punches will beat Chavez Jr.
Canelo did beat Chavez Jr. via unanimous decision, so Jake Paul's probably going to go out there looking to stop Chavez Jr. and then say that he maybe beat him better than Canelo did and try to make a case for that Canelo fight. Seems like that's the one that Jake Paul's been chasing for all these years. He tried to get that fight this year. It was seemingly in negotiations, but then it seemed like played him just to get a better deal from Turki Al-Sheikh in Saudi Arabia, which he signed a 4-fight deal for this and next year. 4 fights, starting with one pretty soon against William Skull, then a future one against Terrence Crawford maybe later this year. As leading up to them both fighting on the same card, Chavez Jr. was asked about Jake Paul potentially fighting Canelo Alvarez and why it would be hard to make.
Jake Paul's not been shy about wanting to fight Canelo Alvarez one day. Do you think we'll ever see that fight?
Difficult to make the fight for the weight difference and promotions.
Scale 1 to 10, how far away is their skill set right now? 10 being Canelo, let's say 0 is the bottom. Where's Jake Paul on that scale?
Maybe 7.
He's that high.
Maybe 6, 7, yeah. You know, I think of Jake's like not a great skilled boxer, but he very strong and he can box. So 3 or 4 more fights, he can fight anybody.
So Chavez Jr. says Jake Paul's strong, he can could box a little bit, but obviously nowhere near as skilled as Canelo Alvarez, as it seems like this is the fight they're leading up to. Paulie Malignaggi previously said that Jake Paul is kind of the new age Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and could potentially work his way up to the same position Chavez Jr. was in.
Turned Chavez Jr. pro with no amateur experience and got him to a world title. I mean, God only knows how they did that. I still can't figure that out. I mean, they had to rob about 6-7 guys on the way.
It was 10 4-rounders, 10 6-rounders, 10 8-rounders.
And they robbed half of the guys. I mean, I remember they robbed Troy Rowland, they robbed Brian Vera, they robbed a couple of other guys who were slipping my mind. I mean, yeah, a couple of robberies in there too, but you know, they got him to a world title. They had to strip Sergio Martinez of his belt and then give Chavez Jr. a title shot against Zbek. I'm not advocating that we make all of these political moves for Jake Paul to be a champion. But what I'm saying is, even if Jake gets in the vicinity of that, it's possible to turn pro with no amateur experience and move your way up. The Chavez Jr. experiment kind of worked.
So this seems like this is the route that Jake Paul is going to be taking for his next fight. He has addressed a big announcement coming tomorrow, which is obviously assumed to be this announcement for Chavez Jr., but he did put out a trailer on his social media.
Tell him
You ask, what is our aim? I can answer in one word. Victory. Victory at all costs.
As the full report from Ring Magazine says, Jake Paul is set to face Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. at cruiserweight this summer, sources tell The Ring. Chavez Jr., the son of the legendary Mexican boxer Julio Cesar Chavez, is 39 years old. He reigned as WBC middleweight title holder, which is 154 pounds from 2011 to 2012. Chavez, 54-6-1 with 34 KOs, defeated former UFC fighter Uriah Hall via 6th round decision on Paul's undercard last summer, his first bout in 3 years. Unlike Paul's event with Mike Tyson in November, this bout won't be streamed by Netflix, sources said. Paul, 11-1 with 70 KOs, was closing in on a deal to fight Canelo Alvarez next month before it collapsed at the 11th hour as boxing's top star signed a 4-fight Riyadh season deal. Paul, 28, defeated the 58-year-old Tyson via a decision in a bout contested over 8 2-minute rounds with 14-ounce gloves. The social media star's lone defeat was a split decision setback versus Tommy Fury in 2023. The last time Chavez competed against a world-class boxer was 2019 when former champion Daniel Jacobs stopped him in round 5. Chavez's shutout decision loss to Canelo in 2017 generated over 1 million pay-per-view buys. Chavez suffered a decision loss to UFC legend Anderson Silva in 2021. Last year, Chavez entered a residential treatment program in Los Angeles after he was arrested on felony gun possession charges. So Jake Paul's return to the ring seems to be imminent, getting ready for a fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., a son of a legend with over 60 pro fights, but definitely an older guy, definitely a little bit past his prime. A former world champion though, so let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on this fight for Jake Paul taking on a former world champion but a little bit older in Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And I'll be sure to keep you guys in the loop with all future fights and updates, so be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you guys enjoy.